um, the Hex Hangout. And how's everything, RG3? Are you still in Vegas?
Hold on a second here. There we go. Can you hear me now? Got this thing here. Yeah, I'm good. I'm back from Vegas. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you perfectly.
Cool. Yeah, no, we're back from Vegas. We had a big weekend with all the Hex community. We call ourselves the HEXICANS. And yeah, it was our first meetup, and we had about 300 people there. It was pretty cool.
I would have loved to participate, but I had a written request towards my employer, and of course he denied me. And it's funny because I've been in the company for almost 3 years, and I've never called. I never used any of my vacation days, and then the very first time that I request, I get denied. But it's all right. I didn't take it to heart because I'm like, you know what? It's good that this happens to me, so that way when I do retire and I do find another career change, I could basically, appreciate that I could do everything in my leisure and not just be, you know, underneath somebody's thumb whenever they feel like, nah, you can't go. Yeah, you could, and that type of shit. But you're back home, RG3?
Yeah, I'm back home.
Nice, yep. Man.
Yep, was that's what.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I have the OG of HEX right here with me.
Oh yeah, you have one of the.
I'm not the OG, that's for damn sure. No, but I was one of the original streamers of a handful of us that started. I started what's called Discourse Syndicate. We started out as a show that just showcased every single Hexican that had something to say. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, we would stream and just bring the faces of the community on because, when we were in our Telegram chat room, I noticed that there were some really smart crypto minds that were getting into Hex. And I said, you know what, these guys got to get noticed. People have to see them speak because they were spitting fire. They're spitting the truth. And it's something when, it's one thing to be an influencer and have a lot of production value and be polished and be able to speak on camera and all that kind of stuff. But it's another thing to showcase real people who are passionate and smart about what it is that they're doing. And so I said, this has to be seen. So we started Discourse Syndicate. We brought all the Hexicans on board. And they, from there, they started streaming on their own. And we've got about 30, 40 Hexican streamers out there just spitting fire in YouTube and showing everybody what Hex is all about. So then as that happened, I said, well, it's time for us to kind of herd the cats and bring everybody back in so that we can get all eyes on us. So I created Discourse Syndicate Network. And now we have a network where all the Hex streamers are streaming at least, 1 or 2 days a week on our network, and they're pushing people to their content and to their channels. So we've all come in one place now. So that was kind of the whole the circle of life with the Hexican streamers.
That's great. The market crash, as we're all aware, but Hex did not. Hex actually pumped a lot as the market crashed, and that's very interesting to me. And I did my research. I looked into Hex. It's very confusing. It is over most people's heads.
But it's not.
It's not for the nomenclature.
But it is.
It's not for the average retail investor.
It is, and I'll explain that to you why.
Can you explain it in layman's terms how Hex works?
That's what I do. So look, I'm a Gen Xer. I'm not a 20, 30 something. I'm in my 50s. So I'm not a real tech guy. I knew that tech was the future, and I knew that crypto was the future, and that I better get involved somehow or I was going to get left behind. So the only reason that I got involved with Hex was because I was looking at crypto as a hedge against life. And when Hex first launched, I'm a layman guy. I work with my hands. I'm a millwright by trade, so I'm a working guy. I worked 35 years of my life in a job that really, took a lot of time and spinal cord from me, let's just say. So I just wanted to know what this thing was about, and I got into the technicals and read all the technicals. But then when I started streaming and we started to understand what was going on, I'm like, this is really simple. This is really, really simple. And yeah, there's a lot of code behind it. There's a lot of game theory behind it. And there's a lot of things that you could jump down rabbit holes and look at.
Yeah.
But it's very, very simple. And it's just a product that I've been using my whole life. My father's been using his whole life. My grandfather's been using his whole life. And it's a CD. And it's a certificate of deposit, but it belongs on the blockchain.
Right.
And yes, it takes a little bit of technical know-how to navigate, but it takes a little technical know-how to navigate crypto, period. And that's the problem with crypto, is that it's not for the layman yet. And it's crypto, not HEX, that is the actual issue. HEX is very simple. You can buy it, trade it, and move it around just like Bitcoin. It's very, very simple.
Well, it's not following the market. The market.
But I'm just talking about technicals right now. And as far as following the market, yeah, we'll get into that in a second, and I'll explain that to you. But the technicals are very simple. All you can use HEX like Bitcoin. It moves around just like any other cryptocurrency: buy, sell, move, whatever, hold. Or you use its function, which is staking, which is the CD portion of it. You choose the time frame. You choose, when you're going to end it, whether you're going to end it early or late, and that's it. That's all the functions are. When you can stake it.
Read that if you exit your term early, your rewards are distributed to people that didn't end their terms early.
Exactly. So that's another benefit to the staker class, is that unbanking the CD is what we've done here with HEX, or what Richard has done with HEX, and the penalties, instead of going to the banking institutions, are going to the stakers, those that hold and keep the value of the product itself. Those people are rewarded for doing so. And you have an option to pull out early. You have an option to wait at least half of your term to get your principal back, or you can lose some of your principal and end it early, or all of your principal.
If you end it early, do you only lose some of your?
It depends on how far along you've gone.
Okay.
At the halfway mark of your stake, you're guaranteed to get right back at your principal. If you end before that, then you're starting to eat into your principal, and it eats into it significantly. So you can literally wreck yourself down to zero if you don't watch what you're doing. So as you go past that bar, though, past the halfway point, now you're gaining interest. So if you have a 10-year stake and you ended at 7 years, you've actually made interest on it, and you're doing a little better than you would have if you ended it at the halfway point.
Say I staked for 15 years.
Yes.
Say I staked 1,000 HEX for 15 years.
Yep.
In your opinion, 15 years later, what would I be looking at? Because what's the world even going to look like in 15 years?
And that's the unknown with everything. You can't ask that question about any asset. What's my 64 Impala going to look like 15 years from now? What's Berkshire Hathaway stock going to look like 15 years from now?
But that is HEX's mantra. This long term, the protocol is sort of suggesting that you should put your money into this for the long term. So, believers in the HEX project, what is your thinking? What's going to happen in the next 15 years that makes you think HEX is a good stake?
Well, the fundamentals of it and the technology are what prove it to me. Now, when I just said what I said to you, I was talking about black swan events. How likely is it that a 64 Impala is going to be worth less today than it is 15 years from now?
100%.
Very, very slim to nothing. How about, Berkshire Hathaway? More than likely still going to be a pretty good stock to be involved in the next 15 years. Yeah. But black swan events happen. Anything could happen to crypto. Anything could happen to the monetary system. All kinds of things could happen. Now, what do I believe in? The fundamentals of HEX. And it's the best thing that I could put my money into, as far as I'm concerned, because of the code. So the code's immutable. It's just like Bitcoin. It's launched. You can't touch it. And it's survived a year and a half of scrutiny, and it has never had any downtime. I've never seen a crypto launch and not have some type of a hiccup. And HEX has had 0 hiccups in the last year and a half. So the code is working, and it's working flawlessly. Because HEX has had so much hate and FUD and so little adoption, that has kept our interest rate monstrously high. HEXICANS are making 40% on their interest right now. So that I'm in love with that. I like the fact that, we're getting as little adoption as we are to an extent, so it's kind of a mixed emotion for me. Of course, I know the more adoption means price go up, but I am loving collecting
the market cap skyrocketed lately. The market cap is now in what is it now, in billions?
Yeah, 52, 53 billion, something like
and
that.
Just
Number four economics.
couple months ago, it was couple hundred million.
Well, no, it's been on the rise for a while now. We did have a big spike here over the last few months, but yeah, it's been moving along just like it's been built, just like it's been planned. It's got and the confusion about Hex, I think, is all of the different things that are built into it to make it do what it's doing, and people don't understand that. So that's where everybody gets confused, is what's all this game theory, and what are pumpamentals, and what are all these things that Richard's talking about that are built into Hex that are making it do what it's doing. And once you start unpeeling that onion, that's when you have to start, putting on your thinking cap and doing your research and finding out what's going on with it. So that's where some of the confusion comes. Now, if you're a guy like me, you don't have to worry about that, because I knew from all the guys that I talked to that were doing the research and the research that I had done, that yes, it was going to start to do what it has done. And the deeper and deeper we looked into it, the more and more game theory we actually started coming up. So the community itself actually came up with some game theory too, to confuse matters even more. But because of how Hex is built, we've all been able to capitalize on that, and we've made serious gains. I've never seen anything do this in crypto.
Yeah, in April it was 8 million. Market cap. No, that's a volume.
I don't think you should want to focus on market cap. And go ahead. Go ahead.
2 billion.
It's a vanity metric, and just to let you know, Hex is built to destroy market cap, and a lot of people don't understand that dynamic either. That's a whole nother onion to peel about market cap. Market cap is really a fake metric, and crypto doesn't know that. Crypto uses it as a value metric, and it really isn't.
Metric.
It really isn't. It isn't a value metric. It's a vanity metric. And once Hex destroys everybody's vanity metric, it will no longer be a metric that people are looking at anymore. They will change up, because Hex is going to destroy everybody's market cap.
What if
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What if I had a trillion coins, right? I had 1 trillion coins and I sell one to you for $1. Does that make me a trillionaire? Of course not. So it's just a silly little example of how silly this market cap people like to think about in crypto is. You don't want to focus on that. What drives prices up and down is actually the price of the coin itself. It's not the market cap. If I sell you one coin for $1 and I have 1 trillion of it, it doesn't make me a trillionaire. So hopefully that could help you understand.
Right. If it has a low market cap, 1 trillion tokens are not worth much. But if it has a high market cap, 1 trillion tokens are worth a lot. I don't understand what both of you are saying here. The higher the market cap means the higher the value of each token.
Really, market cap
divided by the maximum supply.
Market cap and volume should only matter to the exchanges. The exchanges are the ones that actually can measure of the amount of people that are coming in and out and actually making.
It's what's trading that creates the value. It's what's trading that creates the value.
Those
coins sitting in a wallet are market cap, but they don't create the value in the coin.
Yeah, demand for sure, volume.
Yes, that's what creates price, not coins sitting in a wallet somewhere. Satoshi's coins don't bring the value of it up any. Those can dump on your head at any moment.
So why Hex? What's going to make Hex go up?
What's making us very exceptional and special and unique is that you have a community of hodlers. We're here to hold. Like I was explaining to you last night, So why are we not bleeding out and dumping on each other? Because we have a mechanism that will penalize you if you go against what you said you were going to do. So
I
this
do.
is why the price is holding up, because me and RG3, we have 15-year stakes, 10-year stakes. There are coins that were off the market. They're not on the market to be sold or bought. We took them off and we're leaving them off. And as
And
long as we leave them off, we're going to be rewarded. Now, if you want to go against your word and or you have some crazy event in your family or personal life, you may want to risk it, whatever you're left with, but they're still off the market because those penalties, they're not going back to be sold. They're just going to be redistributed to the ones that kept their word or whatnot. And this is what's keeping us afloat to cure your curiosity. That you're like, why isn't Hex being dumping and bleeding like everyone else? Well, that's what's holding us up. The staking mechanism is what's keeping us afloat. We could go lower if it wasn't for the staking mechanism. Could you imagine if there wasn't no staking? Everybody be selling with no
Yeah,
penalties. No
I really like the staking mechanisms. I like that people are locking their tokens for the long term. That means that they really believe in the project.
Yeah,
Can
does it
you
get any better than that, dude? Like, what other?
It doesn't.
We're
Can
in
you guys
legacy,
explain to me
crypto.
the circulating supply against the total supply?
let me back us up real quick and talk about one more metric and keep that in mind. So on top of what you just discussed, D'Artagnan, us holding, there's another mechanism within HEX, which is the interest bearing metric. The interest bearing metric is what confuses a lot of people, what we call T shares. So when you stake your HEX, you're given a placeholder, and that's called T shares. And these T shares only go up in value. So when you stake your HEX at that date and time and the distance that you stake out at, there is a price on those T shares. Every time somebody unstakes a completed stake and receives ROI, that ROI sets the T share price up every time so that that person cannot continue to stake and get the same amount of return. So those share prices going up in value. To put that in perspective, we started out at about, we were buying T-shares around the 60 cent range, right?
Right.
T-shares are now worth about $1,400 per T-share.
1800.
$1,800 per T-share.
My
So the
goodness.
value of the T-share has gone up. So the holders, so as a holder goes into their stake and they see those T-shares like a miner creating inflation coins for them, that's a valuable tool. That's something that, I mean, how many people want to turn off their Bitcoin miners, while it's making Bitcoin? So when you see your stake coming due, a little bit of anxiety sets in, and you're like, man, I was making all that interest. I'm making 40%. And now I've either got to stake longer to continue to keep that miner running, or I pull out all of the value of it. And my goose that lays that golden egg, I choke it off and I eat it for dinner. So the thought process, and one of the other fundamentals in HEX, is that I'm only going to peel a little bit of that interest off that I need, that I want, that I desire, that I need for income, and the rest of it is getting staked back out there. And if I can, I'm going to stake it for longer so that I can even make more HEX. So the internal mechanisms of HEX are constantly creating fundamentals and things that are going to make the price go up and the value of HEX go up, because holding the coins is what brings the value to it.
Now, what about this circulating supply against maximum supply? Most of the tokens are not in circulation.
Yep. Because they're staking coins. They're hodling coins.
Right.
They're not for trading. HEX isn't a trading coin.
They're not in some treasury wallet.
What do you mean they're not in some treasury wallet? Are you talking about are you asking me about the OA? Is that what you're asking about?
OA?
Yeah, the originating address, that there's a large address that holds a lot of the tokens, most of the supply.
Yes, I'm talking about, of course, whale wallets and concentration and the OA. Yes.
Yeah, there's a handful of whale and shark wallets out there, a few hundred of them. But the originating address is, of course, the big wallet itself, and that one has proven to be part of Hex's Pumpamental and part of that market cap destroyer. It has acted only once, and it acted in the best interest of the staker class. It moved coins one time, and that move was on big payday, when a bunch of people outside of Hex, outside of the staker class, decided to buy a bunch of Hex to grab what was the big airdrop after big payday, and it looked like they were going to buy them all up and then dump them the next day, which is what they did. The amount of coins staked are what created that big payday bonus. The more coins staked, the less bonus we got. So when the big payday was coming and people were trying to front run it, the OA moved, staked a bunch of coins, and kept people from dumping on the stakers' heads and reducing the price from what it was to something dismal. So it acted in the best interest of the staker class, and then the coins moved back in. So it was it's kind of the benevolent whale that is there to enhance and create one of the biggest pumpamentals in Hex.
Okay, was there a airdrop 2 years ago?
Are you talking about so when it first launched, there was an airdrop for Bitcoin holders. So if you own Bitcoin, you could free claim. You could have free claimed, your coins. And then those coins, 10% of them you could keep, and the rest of them, I think that's what it was. 10% you could keep, and the rest were staked out for a year. You had to stake them for a year. So Bitcoin holders got a stake, and then they were able to get some of their coins out right away. So those that held and staked them are very glad that they did. But it was I forget how much, but there was a significant amount of Bitcoin that was claimed.
Yeah,
in the billions.
From everything I'm seeing, I like what I see. Most of the tokens are locked. People are in it for the long term. I love the interface. I wish I could buy it not on the Ethereum mainnet. If I'm not mistaken, it used to be on Waka Finance. On the
there are some there. Are you talking about in a DEX? You don't want to be able to buy it on a DEX?
No, I'd like to buy it on a DEX, but not an Ethereum mainnet DEX because of the gas fees.
Oh, well, that's a solution to that is coming. That's going to be the Pulse launch. So Pulsechain, Richard Hart is literally going to fork Ethereum and move the whole system state of Ethereum. Every ERC20 token that you know and love is moving over to Pulsechain in like the next, probably I'd say about 30 to 60 days.
Okay, so there is a connection between Pulsechain, because when I went into the Hex Telegram, I asked if you guys are connected to Pulsechain, and they denied it. So I guess.
Well, I think they probably just said, let's keep it Hex here, and you can go to Pulse, the Pulse chat room to talk about Pulse. They try and keep the rooms pure but right. I mean, most of the HEXICANS are over on the Pulsechain network too, but they just keep the rooms to so there's no confusion.
Pulsechain is a different project.
It's a different product, yes, and it's going to be a fork of Ethereum. All the goodies that we've been waiting for on Ethereum, 2.0 stuff, ZK rollups, all those kinds of things are going to be rolled into it.
I read into it.
Gonna knock the fees down and add some more features. There may be some easier onboarding platforms like we were talking about in the beginning here, where the confusion of crypto comes is the difficulty in it. So yeah, he's gonna give everybody a copy of their ERC20 tokens to come on over to Pulse and play with it there. So very cool project that's going to happen.
If you don't mind
go ahead.
Don't forget what you were going to say, Jesse, real quick. Captain RG3, don't mind me asking, what percentage of your Hex bag are you going to put into Pulse, if you don't mind me asking? Because right now I'm like stuck. I'm like, fuck, should I go all in? Should I go half? Should I put like a 20%?
So D'Artagnan is putting me on the spot here and changing. He's asking for some advice on something that we haven't even discussed. So the Pulse chain is going to require, if you want Pulse, there's a political statement that's being required here, and that is if you want to sacrifice some ERC20 tokens or some tokens that are on the list that comes out when Pulse gets ready to launch, then you can sacrifice those tokens in expectation of zero, and then that placeholder there may or may not be distributed Pulse tokens. So it's a risk. It's a big risk. So anybody who wants to sacrifice tokens, any ERC20s, Bitcoin, there's a lot of different tokens on the list. You can sacrifice those to the address, and then you may or may not get zero value Pulse tokens when it comes out. Now,
You
who
may
knows?
or may not get.
May or may not. We don't know.
So why would anybody do that?
Exactly. Why would anybody do that? That's that's the $1 million question.
Jesse, do you trust Satoshi not dumping his BTC holdings on everyone? Okay, you know what? You
I don't hold Bitcoin.
Okay.
And I can't wait until dominance is down low enough that it's not the most dominant anymore.
We both feel the same about Bitcoin.
I love proof of stake. I'm into projects like Luna, Cardano, Phantom. I love proof of stake blockchains with smart contracts that are truly decentralized.
And by the way, that's what the system state of Pulse is going to look like. It's going to be a proof of stake coin. It's not going to be like Ethereum and be a proof of work.
Great.
So it is going to be a proof of stake, and
Great.
Nodes are set up. The whole thing's ready to go. Those nodes have already been tested and fired up and running, and all the code's been done.
I'm curious.
Here's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bitcoin, crypto, obviously, any crypto asset has length. I don't know if you guys subscribe to the theory, but I do because I look at the data. Lengthening cycles and diminishing returns.
Yep.
Is this going to happen with HEX?
I think HEX is built different. And I think that lengthening cycles and diminishing returns are, number biases that are going on and stuff. I mean, who wants to buy Bitcoin at $40,000, $50,000, $60,000? It's
a lot of people. Yeah.
A lot, but a lot more are looking into, how they can get into something else, is my opinion.
Right. I don't own any BTC because it's the slowest. It's going to be the slowest mover. Once Bitcoin goes up 10%, my altcoin's going to go up 30.
Yes, of course. So anybody who's an investor understands that metric.
And Bitcoin's becoming obsolete. It
already is.
We'll never forget what Bitcoin did for,
of course,
the world. It changed the world. And I feel the same way about Ethereum. I don't think 2.0 is going to go off without a hitch.
No, it won't.
Other blockchains already started from scratch and made a proof of stake blockchain that blows Ethereum out of the water in the same amount of time that Ethereum's been saying they're going to make 2.0.
And that's the problem. So you
Solana.
nailed it.
Solana is a great example.
So Bitcoin was a good start, like you said, and all of our hats are off. Thank you, Satoshi. It was a good start.
Yes.
Ethereum, great try. Sorry you can't get your heads out of your ass to make this thing work.
Well, the miners don't want it. The miners voted against it.
And it's political. More than likely, he's having to kowtow to the political, pressure of the miners.
Right.
So sorry you did that wrong, but you did that wrong too. So now the new tech's here. DEXs, proof of stake. Who's going to do it first? Who's going to come out with a better Bitcoin? HEX is the better Bitcoin. Period. End of story. It's faster. It's more secure.
That's why I'm asking. I'd like to buy HEX, but I refuse to use the Ethereum mainnet. Where can I buy it?
You're going to have to wait till Pulse comes out.
Okay.
You could buy it on exchanges. There's a lot of exchanges.
Make a phantom bridge pretty easily.
There is going to be bridges when Pulse launches. There's going to be bridges. There was a time when you can get it on the Matic network. I think that's still available. But I don't.
Not. I checked.
I don't trust all that stuff. I didn't like, moving like it did. I tried it out. I moved Hex and whatnot between the two. But there is key issues there. They do hold the keys. Your tokens could disappear at any moment. Yep. So that's a counterparty risk that I'm not willing to take or endorse and tell people to take that risk. So until something like that comes out, which is what Pulse is supposed to have, then I don't want to deal with it. The fees have come down significantly. In the last few months, they were higher. Right. They're still higher than they should be. I mean, we all saw Vitalik laugh at Bitcoin for there being a 5-cent charge at one time, and now he's got $1,000 trades going on in his platform. So it was kind of like ironic that he had done that and said that about Bitcoin, and then his fees are out there at $130 just to move your coins. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Is HEX planning on being a Pulse maximalist and only use Pulse and not branch off into better blockchains like Luna and Solana and Phantom, where they have these great cross-chain? The future is all about interoperability. We're going to have to. So
that's the speak.
Why can't I buy HEX?
Well, that's the speak. We're going to be making we're going to make interoperability between good chains. Chains that aren't holding keys, chains that are going to be good actors. They're talking about bridges that are going to, I think that's the future is there's room for more chains. There's room,
Yeah, there's great ones out there right now that need to be used and utilized.
Yep. And that's the goal. That is the goal.
The only reason the Pulse was even created, it was all because of the high gas fees. If the gas fees weren't through the roof a few months ago, my goodness, I saw an end stake. What was like $1,400? RG3, remember that shit? To end stake, it was like $1,400.
Yep.
A swap like $200 to $300. Like that shit was just outrageous. So they did it to themselves, and by they I mean Vitalik, the Ethereum team, and everybody.
Miners are making record profit right now.
Yeah,
record profit.
God bless them. God bless them. They ran. They're laughing all the way to the bank. But they are that what happened a few months ago is the reason why Pulse is being started. Had those fees been low, Pulse would have never been created. Never. We weren't thinking about that. It was until everybody was like up in arms, and Richard said, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and just fork Ethereum and just go ahead and make the fees like little to nothing." And
it's all about interoperability. I hope it's interoperable with all the blockchains. And I think on a macro level, the whole market is down because the hash rate dropped like crazy. And all of these miners are on planes and boats, and they're moving, and they're going to get set up at new facilities. And once they're back up and running, I think the price is going to continue to go back up on a macro level, the entire market.
What you just said right now, I'm not even going to pretend like I understood it. Heaven knows that I'm just like limited when it comes to that tech side. RG3, I hope you can rebuttal that.
Say it again. I just punched. I got a bunch of telegrams coming in. Everybody wants the link to what we're doing right now. So
no, it's okay. It's okay. So basically, what you're saying is, Jesse, just to recap, you're basically saying that the fees on the new chain in Pulse. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I understood this incorrectly.
I wasn't talking about Pulse at all. I was talking about the broader market, Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything.
The fees are ridiculous.
It's hard to say, man. I mean,
I'm saying China banned mining, shut off electricity to all the miners. The hash rate dropped significantly to one of its all-time lows. And I think just the lack of all that participation on the network, and miners notoriously don't like to sell Bitcoin. They like to hold it. But they had to sell Bitcoin to move their miners to Iceland, to Miami's offering nuclear power. Texas is offering solar power. They're moving all around the world right now. The price is going to stay low until they're back up and running. And, like Satoshi said in the white paper, for every person active on the network is going to add value to the network. And right now, a whole lot of miners are dropped off the network, and the mining rigs are on boats right now. So I think the whole market's going to go back up once everything's back up and running again. And it's a good thing for Bitcoin and for Ethereum and for all proof of work cryptocurrencies to get all that centralization out of China. Because one of the biggest complaints institutional investors had was that it's too central, that China owns it. You know what I mean? There was a big FUD articles. Oh, China has all the hash power. Now they don't. So
I don't know how much of an effect that's going to have. And like you said, they like to hold, but they also have to dump in order to pay those electricity bills. So,
right.
I don't know how much of
Bitcoin.
Yeah, they have to sell it. They have to in order to do business. So I think it's a good thing that they're getting out of China, but I think mining is a ridiculous idea. I've always thought mining was a ridiculous idea. I had a buddy set up a mining operation in Thailand. When I saw that, I was like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely stupid.
Proof of work is never going anywhere, but there's only going to be like a top 5. There's going to be Bitcoin and Monero. I think that's it.
I'm sure you're probably right, but I think that mining is going to be a thing that goes away. I think that mining is going to be a thing that just has to fade off in obscurity.
I don't hold any Bitcoin. I hold proof of stake blockchains that are fast, decentralized, have smart contracts, and are eco-friendly.
Yeah, I
have great
believe the same,
tools.
And that's why I got into HEX. And I know that right now, like you said, it's setting on the Ethereum mainnet, and we're kind of a hybrid proof of stake, proof of work coin because we are Ethereum. But it was a good start. Now Richard has created his own chain, so it's going to be a complete proof of stake, and it's going to take all the things that are good in Ethereum and put them out there. I mean, let's face it, Ethereum proved itself by creating cryptocurrencies. It gave people a platform to go out there and build on. And so there are some good things in Ethereum. Like you said, the politics and the proof of work thing has kind of screwed it up. So we got to fix that part now. And this is tech, we're in tech. And what I don't understand about the whole crypto space is that we don't act like we're in tech. We act like we're in some kind of a asset war. And that's not what cryptocurrencies were built for. It wasn't meant to bring all these middlemen in, these exchanges and all of this stuff that's happening out there. We weren't supposed to bring middlemen into crypto. That's not what I heard crypto was about. What I heard crypto was about was this, bank the unbanked and get the money out of the banks and screw them and become our own Fed and become our own currency. And
BYOB.
Change the money, change the world. And they can't change the money. Crypto in its state can't change the money because it's turned into P.T. Barnum's fucking circus out here. And that's the problem. Now you have to fix crypto. HEX fixes crypto. Pulsechain is going to fix crypto. Fix crypto, fix the money. Fix the money, fix the world. That's what's happening right now.
How is it going to fix crypto?
Well, we've changed the whole narrative of what you're supposed to do with a cryptocurrency. Everybody thinks you're supposed to be a trader. Everybody thinks you're supposed to watch guys on YouTube that have charts behind your back so that you can learn when to dump on somebody else, so that you can learn how to sit behind a screen and fight the guy that's on another screen and see if you can take his money from him. That's not what cryptocurrencies were made for. And that's what's happening right now. Everybody thinks they need to be a trader. They need to be some type of day trader. That's not what cryptocurrencies were made for. HEX is what cryptocurrencies were made for. Hold it and keep its value and keep the value within the network. And let everybody have the ability to utilize it and to let it grow in value and to let everybody use time to increase value, which has always been a tenet of currency, is time is value. Holding a currency in a bank, holding currency somewhere created value. Now that we've gone into this banking system that we have before us, that has lost all of its meaning. We don't have that anymore. Cryptocurrency has to bring that back to the world because the world's not going to do that with their currencies. HEX changes that. HEX fixes cryptocurrencies right now in the state that it's in.
I want to believe that. I want to believe that.
And I know you want to believe that. And the reason that I'm telling you this is because I have been watching this for the last 4 years. I've watched Richard build this thing. I've watched.
So HEX is not backed by crypto. HEX is not determined by Bitcoin. HEX is backed.
That's why we're not moving with them. That's why we're not moving with them.
HEX is backed by investment instruments.
It's backed by code. It's backed by immutable code. And it's also pegged more to the dollar than it is to the other cryptocurrencies that are out there. And that's why we're moving differently than the other currencies are, the other cryptos are. Because, most of the value in the DEXs is in, the trading pairs of USDC and HEX versus HEX and Bitcoin or HEX and Ethereum or HEX and any of these others. We're not correlated to those. When the whole market takes a hit, the whole global market takes a hit and we see crypto and everything start to move, then yes, HEX flutters too, but we fluttered less. And if you look at the charts,
fluttered less. The market crashed and you guys went up like 400%.
Well, that's what I'm talking.
What do you mean fluttered less?
Well, I was talking about like we just seen recently, HEX seen a dip along with crypto, and world economies took a little dip, so we all moved.
Let me pull up the chart.
No, but we corrected, but our dips are a lot lighter than all of the other dips in cryptocurrencies, and actually in any asset. We're the best moving asset.
Down about 42% right now, or something.
Now we're back up.
Okay. Jesus. Okay, so HEX is tied to USDT, USDC, and it's collecting interest. Does HEX put your money into DeFi protocols that earn you interest, or does it just buy CDs?
You just buy a CD with it. So the inflation is paid out to the stakers. So the inflation of HEX is paid out to the stakers, just like the inflation of Bitcoin is paid to the miners. That's why I explained it the way I did earlier. So your stake is like a miner. The interest that you're getting is the inflation of the coin. So when the inflation is paid out, it's paid out to stakers. And here's the beautiful thing about that. See, the inflation of Bitcoin goes to the miners who have to spend that money. Spend that money to relocate, spend that money to pay the electric bills. Yeah, they want to hold it, but they're not holding it. I'll guarantee you those miners are not holding it. They're spending that money on top of them taking profits for themselves. Sure. HEX is paid to the staker class.
Watching the miners is a good indicator. Like if you just based your trades off what the miners do, they all sold right before the top, and now they're gonna build more mining facilities and buy new houses.
Here's another pumpamental in HEX. Here's another plus to put it, another feather in our cap here. So you said the miners dump when they're ready, and they dump at the top. They know when to do it, and they do it, and then the market moves with it because everybody's indicating it and they see it, right? They know those wallets. They know when it's moving and it's time. HEX has something even better. You can literally you can look at HEX from any angle you want just by going, go to Etherscan. You can just pull up, we've got front ends, hex.vision. You can see what's beautiful is you can see stakes and when they're coming out. You can see the congregation of stakes and when they're coming out. So you can literally stake yourself in a desert somewhere where there isn't a lot of stakes coming out because we've seen people batch up their stakes. And you can time the market a little better with your stake.
So you can see the list of HEX stakers and the periods where their stakes end.
And the amounts
so you can time. So you can time your stake to end right before some other big stake so that
it's
worth more when you get out.
Exactly.
That's cool. I like that.
So that's available. And you can just look at HEX with so many different metrics, but hex.vision, one of our community members that made it, Firebun, he put so much information in that site that you can look at HEX from any angle you want. You can see people
Okay.
trading. Because it's on DEXs, you can literally watch the addresses trade on a regular basis.
Okay, one of the angles I look at is the GitHub. Now,
Mm-hmm.
do
You might go over my head with this part, brother. So just letting you know.
Does Hex have a private GitHub? Because GitHub is a huge indicator for me.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't even tell you if GitHub is exactly the platform that they use.
Well, it's here. Here's their GitHub. It's listed on the website.
As long as that's legit and that's not some type of a decoy or a scam. So yes, they do.
Cody Lamson, a developer, and TBC Dev is a developer. And they ring a bell?
I think they use GitLab is what I'm hearing.
Okay. And
that's why GitHub didn't ring a bell to me, because I think it's GitLab that they use. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's real. But if there's audits in there, then that might be real. But check both of them. I know some of the HEXICANS are going to jump in the chat here, and they're gonna straighten me out.
Okay, good. I want that. More information, the better. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, and
just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, so we'll get you dialed in so you could check it out. But the audits are in there. I don't know if you knew Hex was audited 3 times.
I saw 2 on Coin Market Cap.
Yeah, there's actually 3 audits. There was a financial audit along with the other 2 security audits. And they were all done by Coin Fabric. And then there was another one that did one of the audits, but it did have a financial audit to audit the code and the interest bearing T-share system that they created, which I know this sounds outlandish and this is, community member talking to you, but literally the way the T-share was built is like a financial Nobel Prize winning process and how that was done. It's really, really cool. It's kind of reverse compounding of interest, because when that person pulls that stake out, it does the math and says, nope, you cannot restake and get more interest based on doing another stake. So somebody staking year after year, 1 year at a time, can't beat a guy that put a 10-year stake in.
Right. Yeah. The longer you stake, the more you make.
Yeah. The longer you stake, the more you make, in order to make sure that happens, and that somebody can't front run you and just say, I'm going to take mine out every year, and I'm going to end up beating your ass with my interest versus what you're getting. So they did this reverse so that you can't get back in with your same amount of shares. You only get, you have to pay more for those shares every time you unstake. And then, like I said, it's another pump of metal that makes people go, wait a minute, I'm going to think twice before I get rid of my miners here. Before I get rid of my inflation snatchers, I am not going to, take all these profits. I'm going to put some back out there, because, man, 40%, nothing does 40%. Nothing does.
Hex is convincing, but I invite any HEXICANs to contact me on Twitter there at crypto_lodge to join the conversation here and maybe shed some more light on what you think is going to happen in the market in the next 15 years. You're locking tokens for 15 years.
Yeah. Well, I know what's going to happen to HEX. I know what's going to happen to HEX. The contract is immutable. It's not going to change. The value of the T-shares are going to do nothing but go up.
CDs going to change in 15 years?
Not HEX. Not the HEX staking process. It's the code is the code. The contract is the contract. Right. It's just like Bitcoin. It's immutable. You cannot change it. Nobody holds any keys. When it was launched, it was done. It's a completed project. It's a product now. It's not a project.
I understand immutable.
So yeah, so that's what it is. And because it's immutable, it's going to continue to do what it's doing.
But you said it's partially pegged to the US dollar.
Well, everything is.
And CDs. It's pegged to CDs.
No. It's not pegged to CDs. It's a CD-like product. That's all it is. It replaces the products from the bank. I mean, it's not connected to CDs. So it just mimics them on the blockchain.
Automated market making.
That's a complete
yield protocols.
It is yield protocols. It's math. It's simple math. It's a yield protocol. Exactly right. So guess what? The yield protocol only goes up. And as stakers who are staked for 15 years come out, that share rate continues to go up. You can't make it go down. It only goes up. Today's price on that share rate is going to be worse tomorrow as people unstake. You never get a better price than right now. So because that share rate's always going up, the value of HEX has been going up. And that's why we've got a chart that we've got. See, it's math. It's all math and it's done. And that's the beauty of it, is that nobody can change it. And it's had no downtime. So the code is not only unchangeable, but it's solid. So I know what HEX is going to do. I'm going to have, now I don't know what the value of HEX is going to be dollar wise, or my spending power of HEX is going to be. But what I do know is that at the end of 15 years, I'm going to have a significantly larger bag because of the way the interest is compounding, because of how time is going by. You know, I've only served a year and a half of time in some of my 15-year stakes, and they've already surpassed double value of what I put in principal because of the interest rate and how it's been moving. That's significant. That's really, really significant. I've got 15 years to go. That's only a year and a half. And I've already doubled my money in interest and HEX. That's not the value. I'm not talking about the thousands of X that my coin has already, moved in percentages.
And that's
a completely separate metric.
There are no macroeconomic factors that could disrupt this cash flow.
In crypto, no. But if
the world.
In the world, if cryptocurrency dies, we all die. Right. If the world decides to make cryptocurrency illegal or electricity ceases to exist, we all die. Our crypto's worthless. But that's
interest,
a black swan event.
Inflation runs crazy, interest rates go through the roof.
Has nothing to do with HEX. Zero to do with HEX.
Stock market crashes.
Zero to do with HEX.
Bitcoin crashes, Ethereum crashes, the whole crypto market crashes, but HEX is still putting in massive gains?
I'm going to say yes, and here's why. And this is just me predicting and me speculating. So this is pure speculation.
Of course.
When crypto markets do their 80, 90% dips, and let's just say we see another 80, 90% dip and Bitcoin goes down to, 3K, 10K again or whatever. Just takes a big shit. What are people going to want to do? People are going to want to move into something that is interest bearing, that is going to be a place to hold and wait for another 3 years like we did this last time, right? So why would you not put your crypto asset into something that is making 30, 40% interest? I think that HEX is going to become a hedge in a bear market, and it's going to boom in a bull market. Like we did. We were birthed in a bear. We moved up. We boomed higher in the bull, like everything else did. And then when the bear started to come again, and we've seen its flutter here in crypto, HEX has continued to do well. I think that once the crypto community sees what HEX is really all about, I mean, we did all this in FUD, man. People were FUDding us. I got death threats. I got people throwing hate and shade on me all day, all the whole time. But we didn't fluctuate because we knew what we had, and we knew that what we had to tell everybody about, because everybody who's in crypto is really a HEXICAN, because the reason that we saw it was because we were people looking for something better, like yourself. We were looking for staking coins. We were looking for something that was going to change the crypto space, for something that wasn't going to be as loud and obnoxious as everything else was, with all these PT Barnums like Max Kaiser and freaking Peter McCormick and all those guys doing that crap. That's all marketing, man. That has absolutely nothing to do with tech, has absolutely nothing to do with the message of cryptocurrency, has absolutely nothing to do with Satoshi and what he was having to say. So these guys have been PT Barnuming this whole thing. They took it away from all of us. And HEXICANs are people who said, you know what, we're done with that. I was about to get out of crypto. I was done with it. I was in it for the tech, and I was in it for what it was going to do for the world currencies.
You invest you study crypto day and night for years and pick the best protocols, and then Dogecoin outperforms everything you picked.
Exactly. Then they turn us into traders, and they turn us into, go out and search for meme coins. That's what I mean. A lot of our brothers and sisters out there that got into crypto for the right reasons are out there doing that. I see them doing it. I see them talking about Dogecoin
Yeah.
and charting Dogecoin, charting it.
I got 3 boys. They talk about Dogecoin.
It's crazy,
They're
right?
kids.
It's crazy.
Little tiny kids talk about Dogecoin.
And it's the TikTok generation.
Yeah,
and it's the marketing. And we've lost our way. Crypto has lost its way. And HEX is going to change that, bro. I'm telling you right now, HEX and the HEX community, we are going to change that. We've got streamers out there now that are the strongest that I've ever seen in the crypto space. You wait until we get our production values up and we really get out in front of people and we start speaking this message. What's that?
That's a tall order.
We're going to do it.
For HEX to change crypto. It's an ERC20 token is going to change crypto.
We will.
An ERC20 token is going to change.
We are going to change crypto. We already have. We're just waiting for all you guys to catch up. But I'm dead serious about this.
So you're an ETH maximalist?
No, I'm not. I have nothing to do with Ethereum. It was a good start for us. We're moving to Pulsechain. Pulsechain and HEX is going to change the world.
So
the world of crypto.
Pulsechain is an Ethereum fork. That is proof of stake.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to change crypto. And when HEX and Pulse changes crypto, we will change the money, which will change the world. I see that vision coming. I watched what we've done, what we've built. Look, I was just in Vegas with 300 people the first time I've seen them all in a year and a half. We've been streaming with each other for a year and a half, working on this community with Richard, trying to get the word out about HEX, trying to talk to people like you, like-minded people like you, and saying, hey, there's a better way. There is a better way. When we all met in Vegas, something magic happened. We all looked at each other like, man, this is solid. Not only do we have some smart minds here, but we've got we created a streaming community and a family of people that are like, we want to go change things. We want to change crypto. And what's beautiful is we have HEX and the code behind us to keep pushing us up. So a strong community is being pushed up by solid fundamentals in a crypto that nobody has ever seen done before.
Yeah, I will say the community, the telegrams are friendly.
And for the shit that they've taken, for the shade that they've gotten to be as friendly as they are, that speaks volumes about our community. We are open armed to everybody, trying to say, look, we just want to share a message with you. We just want you to look at the code. We just want you to look at something better and quit spewing the crap that they're spewing out there. They're the ones spewing the hate. They're the ones that came at us first. We got battle hardened and forged by all of their shade, by all of their hate. And it's done nothing but make us stronger, because guess what? HEX has never had any downtime. HEX hasn't scammed out. So every message that we've been handed and every message that we've delivered has just made us stronger and stronger and stronger. And we are going to change crypto. I guarantee you that. Just continue to watch.
I hope so.
I know so.
I really do, because something's got to change. All these meme coins need to go away, but they're not gonna. They're really not gonna.
They're not. Well, it's gonna take a viral event, people getting into the right crypto virally versus virally getting into a piece of shit meme coin. That's going to start to change crypto. And we haven't gone viral yet. We haven't. This is a grassroots community-based effort that's gotten us to that $53 billion in market cap.
Yeah, pretty high market cap.
So we've done it with grassroots development. We've done it with, I don't get paid to talk about HEX. I've never gotten a dime. In fact, I've got money into it. I've got money invested into getting the word out. And, the funny
thing is, I was in Atari token, and I was watching I thought it was going to 100x until they just delayed progress forever. And it dropped from 70 cents all the way down to 6 cents now. But before that happened, the top wallets that held Atari converted it all over to Hex. And if I would have followed it then, I would have caught this entire pump.
Yeah.
Because that was about 3 or 4. That was beginning of April.
So my man, look, we always look at the pumps that we missed and go, oh man, Hex isn't done yet. It's barely started. It hasn't seen virality yet. It's still got so much value to add to this space. The communities are growing like crazy, and we're getting the word out more and more. And
that's
now
why
we're starting.
I want to talk about it, because the consensus I'm seeing right now is that the pump is over. It's not. Watch what we do here within the next few weeks. As soon as Pulsechain launches, the Hex value is, in my opinion, probably we're going to see more than double from here. What about centralized exchanges? Are you even interested in them? We're not interested in them. I know that there is some Hex that trades on centralized exchanges. The volume's there. I can't imagine that some centralized exchanges are not inquiring. No, I'm sure they are, but no Hex is going to be given to. And if they want to put it on there, they can put it on there. But no Hex. We've operated. Richard has operated. The Hex developers have operated in a way that has never gone through any of the crap, never done any of the shenanigans, never paid any of the shills, never done any of that, and that's speaking volumes for the fundamentals, and yeah. And they just don't do that. They pay and they get on CoinMarketCap or Coinbase or whatever it is. They get themselves on those platforms, and then they pay exchanges and give them a bunch of coins to go dump on their exchanges. Hex has never done any of that, and I think that's another reason why we get so much hate.
You do get a lot of hate.
A lot, yeah, a lot. I mean, if I showed you my DMs, it would make you throw up some of it.
Yeah, any coin that pumps that people missed out on, they hate on it.
Yeah. Well, they hated us before we pumped. Oh yeah, it was rough, man. It was a rough go. But and it's just keyboard warriors. They're not I'm a Marine. So it's like, I don't see anything that you guys are bringing online that's going to make me change my opinion of what's going on here or make me stop doing what I'm doing. I want to change crypto.
A funny phone call from a funny consultation call, because I'm a blockchain developer, and I got a consultation call from a group of Marines who I forget what they called themselves, but it was like a secret organization within the Marines. They said they had millions of dollars and they wanted to create a pump coin. And I tried to talk. I don't take projects like that. I tried to talk them into creating an actual Marine coin that part of the liquidity, part of the transaction fees goes to help Marines or something like that, but they weren't interested.
Pump coin. Well, I'd like to see who this group is.
It was a funny phone call.
Yeah, it kind of sounds strange, but yeah.
There was like 6 of the guys on the group call.
Crazy.
Sounded pretty gangster. They really did sound pretty gangster. Marines.
Yeah, 6 Marines can sound like that. Yeah. Yeah. So, but things are changing though. People like yourself are picking up. Like people like yourself were just running around. Oh, they're just a bunch of scammers, those guys. Well, now you're interested in actually having us on and talking to us and actually getting to know what's going on. And that's a change. That's a change in the whole crypto space. And it's because we've been resilient. It's because we've been persistent and consistent with our message. It's a very simple one. It isn't complicated like people think. What happens is, people first, they hear it's a scam. So then they want to dig into everything. Everybody will jump into the next thing that they think is going to pump without even looking at shit.
Well, it needs to be explained very simply.
It does. It does.
And it hasn't been yet.
No, I mean, if you come onto my stream and you look at what I've done, I have explained it ad nauseum very, very simply. Look, it's just like Bitcoin. It's just faster and more secure. You can stake it and you consider the time horizon yourself, and then you get paid interest on it due to the inflation of the coin, and that's it. That's simply it. That really is it. And then you got to look into all the minutia. Is it a mutable code? Yes, it is a mutable code. Has it had nothing but uptime? Yes, it has had nothing but uptime. Is there somebody going to, front run it and rug pull on it? No, that's not going to happen.
But it relies on more people, but just like Bitcoin, it relies on more people buying.
Everything relies on more people buying, right? I mean, that argument, we've had that argument. Oh, you guys are a Ponzi. If more people have to buy in order for it to go up
every
in price,
crypto is a Ponzi. Everything can be labeled a Ponzi.
Yeah. Now, I mean, true Ponzi's or pyramid schemes are the dollar schemes. Give me $1 for 30 days, and we're going to give this guy, and then he just keeps going, and everybody's going to get. No. I mean,
it's called pyramid marketing or something like that. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's
no.
multi-tier marketing or something. They have a word for it.
Multi-level marketing, but that's a different.
If you read the white paper, Satoshi describes the more people that join the network add value to the network, and the price will go up forever.
And that's everything. That's everything. Yeah. So that's a weird argument. I don't know why Hex got so much hate in the beginning. I don't know if people actually read what it was and then decided that, oh shit, Richard actually did it, and this thing is going to be, crazy good. One of our biggest and first and foremost, most prolific haters was Tone, and Tone came at us pretty hard in the beginning. Tried sicking lawyers after us and disparaging Richard on stream, and
now, Richard created what?
What's that?
Before Hex.
Well, he didn't create anything. The project at first was called Bitcoin HEX. Actually, there was a project even before that where they started the coin. I forget the name of it, but it morphed into Bitcoin HEX. So they went from a certain protocol and an idea, then it morphed into Bitcoin HEX. And then he said, you know what, this thing needs a name on its own. So he moved it to just HEX.
And they airdropped.
And then he airdropped to Bitcoiners. He said, hey, I want to give the Bitcoin holders their first opportunity to get in. They're going to get free coins. And then whatever was left over that was unclaimed was going to be airdropped to all the staker class. So those who staked were going to get the unclaimed Bitcoin claim coins. And that's how that worked. And then
so it's an ERC20 token that is, the smart contract is written to be a proof of stake Bitcoin.
Yes, exactly.
Right. That's why you're transferring to the other blockchain, the Ethereum fork.
So once Hex moves over to the Pulse blockchain, Pulse blockchain, it's going to be a complete proof of stake match between Pulse and Hex. Pulse ETH will Hex ETH will still remain. It's going to not go away. It will still exist on the Ethereum network.
Right, for exchanges and whatnot, right?
Yeah. And of course, there's stakers over there. So
but it will be one for one for the other token.
Yeah, every other ERC token is going to be one for one. You're going to have,
like most projects do.
Yeah, you'll have exact duplicates of all your ERC20 tokens over on Ethereum. I mean, over on Pulse from Ethereum. So yeah.
Right. So you're not interested in centralized exchanges?
No.
At the moment, or never?
Not at all. Never. We would rather they go away. They are the ones that make money.
Me too.
Founders and exchanges are the ones that make all the money in crypto. Period.
But what about the issue of fiat on-ramps?
That's an issue, and we're going to have one over on Pulse. So they haven't talked to details, but there is going to be a fiat on ramp. They're working on a fiat on ramp.
Okay.
We do have our own. We have our own app. It's called Staker app that our community developed. Guy by the name of Steph and a guy by the name of Firebun, the guy that I told you that made that vision site. excuse me, they created an app where you can actually, you have a wallet and you can stake and you can put Ethereum, USDC, or HEX on that app. You could watch your stakes, monitor your stakes, monitor the price. Very cool. It's called Staker app. It exists on, Apple, the iTunes store and the Android store. And it's how we monitor all of our HEX. So there's an on-ramp there. There are other people that are making apps for onboarding. So we understand in the HEX community that is the pain point in crypto is onboarding people. I mean, you got your friends and family that are no coiners that go, hey, I really want to get into that HEX thing. I really want to get into some crypto, or, hey, Bitcoin's mooning, I want to get in. Well, 2 weeks later, we finally got them some Ethereum on, a MetaMask wallet because they had to create a Coinbase account or a Gemini account. Yeah. And we had to get their fiat in, and they had to be, KYC'd, and pictures of their butthole had to be taken and all that kind of shit, So it's like, that's all the stuff that's the pain point for crypto right now. Until we have a simple, easy way to onboard people like myself, my generation, so I can go to all my 50-something-year-old friends and say, hey, this is all you got to do. Click on this, click it to your bank, boom, send it in, and you've got HEX. And here, stake it now, boom, boom, boom. Now you can set up a ladder, you set up a CD ladder, an income ladder, whatever you want. There's a lot of things that you can do with HEX stakes to, create income in the future for yourself, utilizing it as a damn a retirement tool, So people my age want to see that kind of stuff, but it's too hard for them to get into this asset class because they get in, they start clicking on things, they get their first, 1 or 2 roadblocks, and they're like, screw this. They try to move their Ethereum, and it's like, so I'm going to hold this for 6 days. And they're like, oh man, and the price is pumping, and they lose interest, and they're like, I don't even want to deal with this. So
there's a high barrier of entry.
It is a high barrier.
That's
of entry.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a pain point that we're all working on. I've got my partner's like, when did you do this? I'm doing it right now, bro. I'm actually doing this live right now. It's not recorded. It's live.
Yeah, it's live. It's live. I'm just looking at the hex.vision app.
Yep.
Can you explain this?
So this is the metrics. Can I explain that? I'm the wrong guy to try and explain everything. But this was created by Firebun, one of our community developers who developed the Staker app, who was partnership with the gentleman who built the Staker app. And every metric that you could possibly want, if you are a researcher, if you are a dev guy, if you are a GitHubber, and if you're one of those guys, you go in here and you can see everything that you want to see. Awesome. You could do chain analysis. You could see stakes. You can see all the stakes, how they're laddered out, the amounts of the stakes, the addresses that they're coming from. You can see all that stuff in there. So it's a trader's dream if you want to trade. But of course, HEX is not a trading coin. So all these metrics really don't do a whole bunch for a trader because HEX moves in a macroeconomic way versus a microeconomic way. I'm sure that there's people that can watch the Elliott waves and the RSIs and all of that MACD crap and do, some trading on it.
Is this the official HEX wallet?
No, here? I don't know what that is, to be honest.
So okay.
I would stay away from stuff like that. I don't know what that is.
Where do you stake HEX at?
So you can go to hex.com and there is a link to the staking tool in there. And once you go to hex.com, gives you all the info. You go to the staking tool. You can actually buy it right there on the front page. Okay. You hook your MetaMask wallet to it. And then the stake, see where it says stake, click on stake. And what it's going to do, it's going to take you to a site, a page that is going to allow you to see the metrics of yours. Just go up to the top and hit stake up there. So now it'll ask you to connect your wallet and it'll show, what's going on over here as far as how much HEX you want to try and stake, how long you want to stake it. And then you can see your T-share payout and what kind of T-shares you're going to get for that stake and how many T-shares of value you're going to get for that stake. So that's what that does there. So you can actually use that tool as a calculator. You don't have to have HEX in there to use that tool, that staker tool. So you can literally just put dollar amounts in there and see, or HEX amounts in there, and see how much T shares you'll get based on the amounts.
Great. I guess nothing's showing up because
you click in where it says, well, you don't
zero.
have to even put your wallet in there. Go to where it says HEX over on the top box there. No, not that one. Go back to stake and then see where the HEX box is. Yeah, click in there. And then you can just add the amount of HEX that you want to try and like do the math on.
It's all grayed out.
Oh, maybe it does want you to hook up to your wallet.
It is hooked up to my wallet, but
yeah.
I don't have any. See, it says connected. I just don't have.
Maybe you have to change Matic. Yeah, you have to change
over
it
to
to
Ethereum. There we go.
There you go. There you go.
Cool.
The evil devil Ethereum network.
Let's say I staked 1,000.
And then look at the days and what kind of T shares you get.
And let's go to the calendar and actually go to something like this, 2023.
There you go. And then you'll see the T share rate there. You see in the middle of where the chart is, and then where you just put the dollar amount, it'll show you where your T shares are right there and how many T shares you're going to get for that. Down the bottom right where the yellow wording is, I can't hardly see it, but yeah, see that? Now there's your T shares. Above that is where your T shares are.
Increase your stake length. Let's go to 10,000. Or no, what's the max?
So you can just go ahead and put days in there. Put the max is 5,555. We call that the Quattro Cinco.
The Quattro Cinco, cool.
Yeah.
So the
that's the maximum amount of days based on the contract that you can actually stake. So
okay.
that's why it's like a 5555 is a big thing for.
Is that 15 years?
It's 15 years. 15 years.
All right.
Day or
so
two.
let's take 10,000 HEX for 15 years. And what is T-share? Another token?
No. It's a placeholder for your principal.
Okay.
You buy in at that time, and your HEX is going to be burned. So your HEX gets burned, and you are given T-shares. And those T-shares are just a placeholder and showing the amount of principal that you have. And then you're getting paid based on those T-shares every single day. And if you go back to the main page there and you click on the HEX there, you can actually just click on the HEX right there. It'll show you the amounts paid per T-share. So if you go up to the left where its HEX logo is, click on the HEX logo.
Right here?
Yep. And then scroll down.
Oh, great.
So scroll down and you can see, keep going right there. So now you see per day how much a T-share is getting and how many HEX they're getting. So based on your T-shares, that's how many HEX per day you're getting.
So if I stake 10,000 HEX, every day I'm going to get 575 HEX or 63. No.
If you say what?
Oh, that's the day. So you'll get 11 T-shares a day.
No, you don't get T-shares. T-shares are your placeholder. You have T-shares when you send principal in. But it tells you, see where it says T-share, the second row, the second to the last row there, where it says T-share. That's how many T-shares per day you're getting. That's how many HEX per day you're getting paid out per T-share. That row there. Not that one.
So you get 5 HEX a day if you stake 10,000 HEX.
Yeah, it's a little more closer to 6 right now.
Yeah, closer to 6.
Yeah. So that's what's happening per T-share.
It's about the same the whole time. It goes down as time elapses.
Well, it's fluctuating.
So it is diminishing.
No, that's the earlier days. These are the later days here.
Oh, in the later days, it's worth more.
Yes.
You earn more.
Yeah. So if you look over on the far left, those are the days HEX has been around. Those are actually the days, the left column over on daily data. That left column is the days.
Okay. So the last day you get the most.
Well,
So
it depends on the way things are moving, but yeah, that's you're getting
so you
paid.
start off
So you get paid
at
you get paid
4%.
HEX based on how many people are staked in the pool. So it's 3.69 is the inflation rate. The inflation rate is paid on the staking pool. Right now, there's only about 9 or 10% staked HEX. So that's where the interest rate is at 40 because we're only at a 10% staked rate, right? So
Right.
here's where things start to get a little more complicated, and people want to understand what's going on. This is where it gets complicated.
Yes.
So like the OA owns like 80 something percent of the coins that are locked away. Because those OA coins don't stake, the interest rate is high. And because there's only 10% HEX and another, 5, 6, 7% out there liquid available for purchase, that's what keeps the interest rate up high. And people don't understand that. And that's one of the pumpamentals, one of the things that's very, very, very valuable in HEX, because the OA holds a lot of that market cap. And the OA holds a lot of those circulating coins. So the actual pool, the actual staking pool can only grow as large as the amount of circulating supply that's available. Not the amount of circulating supply, market cap maker, market cap killer, but the amount of circulating available. So now the interest rate stays high. And almost even if every single HEX that's out there available stakes, you're still going to have a monster interest rate.
So HEX is sort of a nightmare for market makers.
It's an absolute nightmare for market makers.
Because it's all staked.
Don't try and short HEX. Don't try and trade HEX. It will destroy you. It is a staker's coin.
How
it's
about
hodling.
hodling it without staking it? What do you say about that?
I say that it's look, I have a certain amount of liquid, and for price increases or whatever, but the only reason why I'm liquid right now is because I want to sacrifice my HEX for the Pulse launch. I want to make my statement, and I want to gather. So that's the only reason I'm keeping liquid. But it's like it makes no sense to have any of that valuable HEX sitting off in a wallet. Yes, you're increasing in value. You're getting value from HEX. I mean, look at the thousands of HEX or that it's gone up.
Yeah, it did well. Hodlers did well. Just holding it did very well while the market crashed.
And I've more than doubled my stack in my stakes. So not only have I gone up in value, but I've doubled my stack in stakes. So that's the value of staking. And I did that, and I doubled that value in a year and a half. So
that's why you stake.
That's why you stake.
But that's why I stake my ADA. That's why I stake
Exactly. So that's my opinion on it. Of course, people got to do what they got to do. People like to hold, people hedge. They hold a percentage of their liquid, and at my age, I do need to have access to those funds. Somebody who's 20, 21 years old, 30 years old, they don't have to have as much access to their funds. Like, I'm going to stake this shit out long. I'm going to make big gains long term. That's fine. But myself, I've got to have access to some of my funds because it's retirement time for me,
Yeah. Hey, I'm only 33 and my back's starting to hurt. So.
Oh, bro, you don't even want to talk back with me. I've got 8 herniated discs. I was a millwright all my life, so I've been moving heavy equipment all my life.
Yeah, I've been a manual laborer most of my life. That's
me, man. That's me. So. Anyway.
Every time my crypto goes up, my back hurts a little bit less.
I'm just what I'm hoping for. Well, I already can, but what I'm hoping to do is find the best back people in the world.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Go spend some time with them. And go. What's that?
You got to leave the country. I heard to get the best.
Yeah. I'm going to leave whatever I got to do. I'm going to find them, seek them out, and I'm going to go spend a month or somewhere, wherever around the world I got to go to get it worked on, and I'm gonna get my back redone. That's my plan.
Well, you made the right call in crypto. I respect you for that, sir.
I appreciate that.
So I'm Do you have a channel, a YouTube channel? Or?
Yeah. So we have. So what we've done is we've created a network. We started out with just a stream. It was called Discourse Syndicate. We streamed
What
on
was it
Mondays.
called?
Discourse Syndicate, and we call it DS, but it's Discourse Syndicate on YouTube. We stream on Twitch. We stream on Twitter. The whole thing. There it is. And we used to do Mondays and Wednesday nights where we showcase the community. Then on Friday nights, what I did is I created this thing called the F and Hangout, the Friday Night Hangout. And on the F and Hangout, we just let everybody come in. I just threw the link out there and said, haters come, whoever wants to come. Haters never came. They never came. They were just, the community was too strong and just knew its stuff. And, we were able to, just destroy any rebuttals that people had against HEX.
Great.
So they didn't come, but Friday Night Hangout has been very, very popular with the community. Everyone comes in and joins and has a beer or smokes a doob or whatever and just has fun. And we stream and we talk about HEX. We talk about other bullshit. But then what we did is we created a network because the community grew so big and strong is we created a network stream. So now Discourse Syndicate is a network. There's about 25 to 30 different streamers from the HEX community that come on there and they all stream and they all have their own channels. But we're trying to just get the word out about HEX so that, people can see what we see, and we want to spread this out there. And yeah, it pumps our bags when people get in. And yeah, of course it's going to be doing better for us. But when it comes down to it, we really want the real people in crypto like yourself to see the value in what HEX and Pulse are bringing. We're getting away from that old stuff. We want to fix crypto, bro. We really want to fix crypto. And that's why I put everybody's faces out, because we're sincere. We're real. We're down motherfuckers. We want people to get the real crypto that they deserve. And HEX is that. And that's the message that we're putting out there. And that's what we're trying to show people.
Great. I'm subscribed now. Anyone watching on my platforms?
Yep. Everybody go over there and subscribe to this channel too. You're called
That's right.
Crypto Lodge, right?
Yeah, I'm Crypto Lodge.
And that's your YouTube channel.
Yeah. I had 3,000 subscribers before and YouTube deleted me for no reason.
Is it crypto content? What do you think it is, man?
I don't know what happened. I don't know why they did it. There was no warning. I had nothing. I followed all the rules.
Yeah.
And suddenly it just disappeared and it said I'm banned for life. So I just made this new channel, identical channel 30 days ago. So welcome to the new one.
That's heartbreaking.
Twitter, Crypto Lodge.
Yep, go to Twitter.
Lodge.
And I'm RG3 _ pirate on the Twitter. Anybody wants to go follow us?
RG3 _
Yeah, I'm the crypto pirate.
Okay. At RG. How did you say that?
RG3 _ pirate.
There we go. RG3 _ pilot.
That's it.
On Twitter.
That's it.
I'm excited to learn more about HEX and to talk to some more people about HEX. This 40% APY on average is great. Locking up all the tokens is great. 15-year locks. This is a revolutionary idea.
It is. It really is.
I've never heard of anything quite like it.
Yeah, I mean, 15-year lock, crypto's barely been around 11 years. So that's a leap of faith. And we've literally got wallets that have put millions of dollars into those locks out at 15 years. Millions. So that's a lot of confidence in the product. I mean, that's a lot of confidence for somebody to stick that kind of money out there like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and as the Ethereum fork you're creating, Hex is creating? Is it using ZK rollup, ZK snarks?
I'm not as sure on the technicals, but I know that they're using those technologies to better, the Ethereum, the old Ethereum chains, technology. I don't know exactly what. I know they're using the rollups. I know that those things are being incorporated, and
I've
of
seen
course, proof of stake.
tattoos in the wild.
What's that?
Is Hex a cult? It says people love Hex so much they're getting tattoos. We've seen 6 so far in the wild.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any hex tattoos myself, but yeah, we do have some HEXICANS that have gotten tattoos, and we've actually done them live on stream where people have gone out and we've given prizes for them to go get tattoos and things. So yeah, it's pretty fun community. We have a lot of fun, man.
The use case is making a lot of money, I guess.
Yeah, the use case is, it's a crypto CD. It's a blockchain CD.
It's a USD hedge.
Yep.
If you ask me, I think that's the reason most people get into crypto. When the US dollar goes down, crypto pumps. When the US dollar goes up, crypto dumps. So
keep an eye on Hex and watch the chart and watch what it does, because code is code, and people just, I think that the greater crypto community, the developer community, just didn't look at, what are all the things that make a coin pump versus hype and marketing. What are the things that you can program into it that make it pump, that make it go up, that make it more valuable? The thing that we know is holding is what makes crypto more valuable. Buying more than you sell is what makes crypto more valuable. And Hex harnesses that and uses everything at its disposal in its code to make sure that people are going to want to hold. And like I said, one of the culture things that are happening right now is that all of us stakers are looking at our stakes as they're coming out, and we're getting anxious. We're literally getting anxious because we've put so much value in the T-share. Look, when a T-share went from 60 cents to, $1,800 now, we're talking, that's a significant move. And when you guys
are in very good profit. However, it's not realized yet. It's still locked.
Yes. Excuse me.
Do you get any sort of dividend during the staking period?
Nope.
So it's totally an investment for the future that you cannot touch for 15 years.
Well, like I said, you can touch it. If you touch it before, you're going to get penalized. If you touch it in the middle, you're going to get your principal back. If you touch it after, you're going to get principal with a little interest, the daily interest that you get based on how far out you've gone into your stake.
What's the smallest window you can stake?
1 day.
Okay? Can you stake any amount of days?
Any amount of days.
We just looked at the protocol. Yeah, you can stake
all the way up to 5,555 days.
So maybe to test it out, we could just throw 100 hex for 27 days, 14 days or something.
Yeah, you can do that.
See what happens.
You
only get
code. So just to let you know,
right?
It's code, and you're going to be getting interest on it, and you are going to be getting that APY. Our staking percentage has stayed so level for so long, right at 9-10%, that it's almost automatic. That's what we're going to get right now. Of course, that can change if we see a black swan event where a lot of people stake, but we haven't seen that since Big Payday. It happened once, it went away. That was one time, and that
so
was.
So what happens if a lot of people stake?
You divide that 3.69% inflation amongst a bunch of more stakes and wallets. So
it's more worthwhile for the stakers of Hex for a smaller fraction of the holders to stake.
Exactly.
So the more people holding it just to trade, the better it is for the stakers.
Better it is for the stakers. Yeah.
All right. I like that.
Yeah. It's good. And then like I said, the percentage of HEX that is out there, 80 to 90% of it, I don't know exactly what the number is, but it's like somewhere between 80, 90, and it's I've heard it's even higher than that, more like 95, is literally in this OA address that holds on with iron hands, diamond hands that it's never been touched. So that increases the staking percentage or increases or lessens the staking percentage that's available. So the actual circulating supply out there, which is like 5 to 7% or whatever it is all that it can actually dilute the staker pool. So there's not a lot of HEX that can dilute the staker pool. So my speculation on this is that once HEX does have a viral event, the HEX is going to dry up and disappear and get staked. And then literally the only HEX that's going to be available is the HEX that's coming out of the staker's wallet. And that HEX isn't going to go onto the market full force. So if I got a million HEX coming out, man, I'm going to be damn sure that I'm going to save my shares and restake and take just what I need. So instead of them seeing the value of a million HEX, they may only see the value of 100,000 HEX get out there because the rest of it's going to get staked. That's how the staker class feels.
What would make you exit early?
Well, in the beginning, there were a couple of things. So in the beginning, I saw something and actually taught the community this, was what we called it. So there's that function emergency end stake is available. Now, before the big payday, before we launched, actually, a lot of us bought our HEX, when it first launched and staked it, a year, 12 months, 13 months, 14 months. We were staking it really, really short amounts of time because we all wanted to get a pump and dump. We were all still in the same mentality as crypto, right? It's like, okay, this thing's going to pump when it launches and I want some HEX liquid so that I can dump it, right? And that was our mentality in the beginning. And as time started to go on, about 6 months into this, I'm like, whoa. Wait a second. We fucked up because these share price is going up like crazy. Once those shares come out, I lose them forever. So the big amounts of HEX that I staked early, I pulled that shit out. I emergency end staked it as soon as I got to my principal amount, and I emergency end staked it, and I stuck that shit out there 5, 10, 15 years. I laddered stakes out. So I've got monthly stakes coming out for an income ladder. I've got stakes pushed out to 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, events in my life, wedding anniversaries, kids going to college, all that kind of stuff. I put some stakes out there for those things, but I pushed all those stakes out. And I made, when I look at my bag after I did that, I pulled out what it was about 1/3 more of the T shares that I had gained in T share value. So I went to, a whole extra third of my bag was now T shares. I gained in value. And, thank God I did that because I realized that I had made a mistake and I didn't get enough T shares because the T shares is where the value in HEX is. So, hey, what's up, Black Sheep? So
a lot of people love you, man.
I'm telling you, the community is just good down people, man. We just got a lot of smart, talented people that are in our community, and HEX drew them in. And it's just. I'll see you later, D'Artagnan. Thanks for setting this up, man.
Yeah. Thank you, D'Artagnan.
So I've just all I've done is just give everybody the chance to get their faces out there and show people that we're real. That's what we've been trying to do, is just show people that we're real. And that, at first we were accused of being bots, there's all Richard's bots and stuff, tweeting and doing all that. So that was another big reason why, I said, no, I'm going to put everybody's face on there so they can see who we are. Right. I'm just a regular working guy, you need
faces.
See the faces, see the attitudes, look at me dead in the eye and listen to me. And you determine if I'm lying or if those guys are lying to you.
Has there been a problem with bots?
What's that?
Has there been a problem with bots in HEX?
Not in HEX. No, the opposite. We've got more people than we've never seen a bot, to be honest, but we were called bots. But we just all started showing our faces and saying, no, we're real. This is why we're here.
Has there ever been a hack?
No, zero hacks,
No,
zero downtime,
and 3 audits.
and 3 audits.
Great.
So that's what's real. It's more secure than Bitcoin. There's been what, three bugs found in Bitcoin, 2 inflation bugs. They had to roll back the chain the first time, and then if it wasn't for a down, honest, freaking Bitcoin Cash developer who found that last bug, then crypto could have been ruined by that.
Yeah.
But,
how about that?
And nobody talks about that. That dude's a freaking hero. Nobody even talks about him. I don't even know his name, to be honest.
Heroes don't get talked about.
No, they don't. So
how about the guy that invented Linux? No one even knows his name.
Yeah.
Or the guy that invented C programming language. Nobody knows, but everyone knows Steve Jobs, who just told other people what to do.
Yeah. And that's the unfortunate thing about all this, just like Richard Hart, he gets accused of being, a scammer. And the guy's never scammed a single person. In fact, in all the businesses that he has, he's never even given anybody a bad deal.
Richard
nobody's
Hart
even
is the head of HEX.
He's the founder. So
Okay.
yeah, he's got a whole team, of course, working on the codes and all those things.
Great.
But he's the founder, and he was the one that they called a scammer. I mean, the guy got in trouble they called him the spam king, and they say, oh, this guy's a scammer. It's like, dude, he was being an entrepreneur. He was the first guy to ever spam people in emails or whatever. And that's all he was doing, was being an entrepreneur. So they came at him for it. And then that thing kind of stuck, and everybody was, oh yeah, he was called the spam king and he's a scammer. And like, no, he was just being an entrepreneur, and he went out there and he got overzealous and whatever. So
when I prepared for this and searched HEX, 50-50 was good things about HEX, and then HEX is a scam.
Yeah.
And the ones that are saying HEX is a scam, they got production value, they got a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, that's the problem, man.
There's a lot of Ubers are saying HEX is a scam.
We're gonna flip that thing on its head.
Well, they were saying it's a scam, and then it made people rich. Then it made you guys rich.
Yeah.
So
and they screwed their people out of a good deal. And how many of them were?
Yeah, they did.
How many of them promoted Safe Moon and all that other bullshit that was out there?
How about it?
With their big production value, talking shit. And then the very next day, when that shit goes to zero, they just act like they never talked about it. And they talk about the next thing, the next sushi swap or whatever that's out there that does something stupid to everybody, and I couldn't take that. Like that guy Black Smiley, man, he just was doing that stuff all the time. It's like, dude, one scam after another, and then you talk shit about HEX. We've never done anything wrong to the crypto community. We've never scammed one person. We've never had one day of downtime, one rug pull, nothing. And they still won't talk about us.
If anybody has any questions, ask in chat. I'll put them on the screen.
They haven't even ranked us properly. All the ranking sites won't even rank us properly.
That's true. I've seen that.
Nomics, crypto.
Properly, they're not reporting numbers.
Yeah. Nomics Crypto is the only one that's reporting the right numbers. And you know what? I had Clay from Nomics on my show, and Clay is the real deal. He's like us, man. He wants crypto to be right. And he said, look, I take more metrics than any other coin ranking site. I do more metrics and more honest metrics than anybody. And that's why HEX is ranked where it is, because I see the metrics and they're not reporting it correctly. He goes, I don't know why they do that or what they're doing. He goes, but I don't take money from nobody, and I put the numbers out there like we see them. And that's why HEX is where it's at. So I was like, right on. That's something I can get behind. And I believed him because he looked me in the face. He came on my show and told me why he was doing what he was doing, because he's tired of it too. What's that?
I like when people come on and look at you in the face. I'm all about communication and talking,
and being real. Being real.
People that hide behind text.
Yep. It's
So,
about being real. It's like,
yeah, it is.
look me in the face and talk to me like a human being,
Exactly.
and forget all your production value and forget your canned responses and your reading off of teleprompters and all that bull crap. Let's just talk mano y mano, and let's go over facts, and let's go over, our experiences, and let's talk about our similarities instead of the differences. And let's talk about what we all want, the same thing in crypto. The problem is some of those people, there's a money wall behind them. There's people paying them to do shit, and they aren't going to say the right things because it'll go against that paycheck that they're getting.
Yeah, we got Finn Bear. He said most influencers only talk about things their subscribers like. I've heard several say their subs don't want to talk about HEX. Sounds like the tail wagging the dog.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of the community people that don't want to talk about HEX is because that they passed it up. And they believed a narrative, and they didn't get to catch the gains that a lot of the HEXICANS did in the beginning, and they got sour grapes. Well, I'm here to tell all those folks that it ain't over yet.
Mudhog said paid shills is what they are.
They are. They're paid shills, and they're not pumping your bags. They're pumping their bags.
You can't hack T-shares.
No, you can't. It's immutable. Yeah, it's immutable. It's in the programming language. You can't hack T-shares, and they only go up in value. They are getting more and more expensive every day. There is going to be a day where T-shares are worth more than Bitcoin. Period. End of story. You cannot stop that.
You cannot
stop it. No, I know so.
Is there a trading view chart for T-shares?
No, the T-shares, I think somebody's monitoring. I mean, obviously you've seen that chart there when you went to hex.com. So there is a T-share chart on how it's going up. And there is a curve, there is a bonding curve that it goes on because it's a contracted thing. So it's been following the bonding curve perfectly.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Do you remember when you went to hex.com and you clicked on the HEX?
Yeah, the T-share graph. So it's only a graphical representation. There's no actual feed. Where's the feed coming from?
I don't know. It's probably coming from hex.vision, and you probably get that from Etherscan. I'm sure that's how they do it. I'm not technical, so I don't know what these guys do. But yeah, it's got to be an Etherscan deal, and I don't even know if T-shares are on Etherscan, but I know that the T-shares, the rate is monitored right there at hex.com, because if you type in and use the calculator, you can see and you can see how everything's moving. So there's obviously a feed somewhere coming from somewhere.
And that's
just a front end.
It's important to know where it's coming from.
That's just a front end. So it's on the data, and somebody will probably type it in here in a second in the chat room where they get it. I'm not the technical guy, but yes, it's following the bonding curve completely. I mean, it's done nothing but the price has gone up, and like I said, it's a mutable code. So T-shares are the rate that they are. Oh, is that Wales? Wales does. Oh yeah, so Wales only is one of our charters in the charting community. Just the guy's solid, golden. He's from the financial world. He works in Wall Street, but he charts crypto, and he does macroeconomic views, and he goes over every single stream he does. His stream is called Whales Only. Every single stream he does, he goes through the macroeconomics and the dailies of what the T-share price is and what the T-shares are doing, and why they're on their trajectory. He's really good at explaining all that. So there's hours and hours and hours of his content on his channel to show you. Oh, okay. Screenshot from TradingView. Last week is HEX versus BTC. Oh. So yeah, so Wales Only can really explain. If you just go to his channel, you can see.
Daniel said my last tweet had a HEX versus BTC picture in it.
Yeah.
Screenshot from TradingView, and I just gave him my Twitter in the chat, so I should be getting a notification here soon with the picture.
Yeah. The thing that's happening right now is a decorrelation from BTC and ETH, we're expanding the gap between us and BTC and us and Ethereum right now. That's what's happening, is we're really starting to move away from them, and that's significant, because that shows that we're not correlated to the rest of the crypto. Everything moves with Bitcoin and ETH, so us not doing that is really a testament to where we're going and how we're moving, especially as this bear market starts to set in. Once we start to go viral, once people start to understand what T-shares are and what that means, that they can literally get a miner without owning mining hardware, waiting for somebody in China to send them some shit that they've already run, then it's gonna go viral.
All I've seen was HEX. It didn't go viral yet, and looking into it, I didn't even know about T-shares until this conversation.
Yeah. Those are the when you get within the inner sanctums of the HEX community, that's all we talk about is T-shares. We don't talk about liquid HEX. It's how many T-shares do you have? In fact, we have on our app, we have a little ranking system. We have Poseidon, which is, we don't have a Poseidon yet. It's a certain amount of the T-shares. We have whales. There's a handful of whales, maybe 20 of them. Excuse me. There's sharks. There's sharks about 110 or 115, something like that. And then we have a dolphin class, a couple thousand, few thousand dolphins. And then it goes, squids. And then, I think they have size shells or something like that. So it goes down even further. So they gamified those who own T-shares. So they rank people based on how many T-shares they have.
Okay.
And, daily
Tim Bear
payouts.
said, guys, nothing is as wholesome as giving the future you some money that actually pays interest. It amazes me we as people have forgotten what money used to be.
Exactly. And HEX does what the US dollar can't even do, which is, pay people who hold the money and not spend it the inflation. The US dollar has really gone off the rails as far as
to say the least.
What's going on out there with the printing and all that.
And
HEX changes that.
Infrastructure bill is probably going to get passed, which is larger than stimulus. So
and
the money printing is not going to stop.
No, and they're going to put people to work and make people happy, and it's going to be, what's going to happen is the economy is going to start to get better, and they're going to turn that pot, the frog in the pot situation is what's going to happen. So we're going to keep slowly turning on the heat until you boil the frog. You know what I mean? It's like that's what's happening right now in the real fiat world. Crypto can fix that. Is it going to anytime soon? Not in the state that it's in. So crypto's got to be fixed. We got to fix crypto. And the only thing that I've seen that can fix crypto is HEX. I'm not saying that to try and be a shill for HEX or whatever, but I've done my research. I've been around. I've been through cycles, man. I am a guy that has lived his whole life, worked his whole life. I'm ready for retirement. I'm done, man. And I've seen cycles come and go, and I've seen what the fiat world has done. And I have never seen anything like this. And when I thought crypto was the answer, but all I saw, like I said, was a circus show. And until HEX came around, I was unimpressed with crypto. I was glad to see what Bitcoin did. I was glad to see what Ethereum did, but I was very, very disappointed in the space and the people that were in charge of it. And they have done nothing but be horrible custodians of something that can be a good thing. And Richard Hart, they haven't advanced it until now. Richard Hart did it. It's done. We're just waiting for everybody to catch up. We're just waiting for everybody to catch up. That's it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing they can do about it.
I mean, you certainly are waiting for everyone else to catch up because look at this.
Look at it. Have you ever seen a chart on anything look like that?
Meanwhile, the crypto market's done this.
Exactly.
So HEX is doing something right. and I don't quite understand it.
Wait a second. Hex is doing everything right. It really is doing everything right. It's doing everything that crypto should have done. It's just doing it right. And that's why the chart looks like it does. It's math, man. It's math. There's nothing that can stop the chart from doing what it's doing because it's math. It is code. It is programmed to do what it's doing. And on top of it, there's been so many other pumpamentals involved here, like the things that I was talking to you about that we discovered along the way that have only made it better. And, you know, things like DEX is coming out. All of these things have done nothing but make HEX better. So as crypto is starting to develop a little bit, HEX is really shining because crypto is getting a little bit better.
The chart's amazing. That's just what caught. I mean, I've heard about HEX since before the crash. And like I said, I saw all the Atari whales exit Atari into HEX right before it pumped and right before the market crashed. And in 128 days, that's 1,437% profit. And maybe more. I'm not sure what this long.
And that doesn't even count for your interest on stakers. So the stakers are compounding that, you know? So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, we've made so many millionaires already. And,
certainly some.
And those millionaires are holding. They're holding, you know? They've become millionaires and they're holding. And I guarantee you, none of them are going, oh man, I can't wait for that stake to come out so I can get a Lambo. No, they're going, oh my gosh, how much of it am I going to keep and spend? What do I need to spend it on? And what am I going to do to get my T-shares back? How am I going to put this back out there?
It turned from 3 months ago, it turned people into millionaires.
Yes.
Wow, it turned everyone that was overexposed in crypto broke and in the negative.
Yep.
So HEX is doing something different.
It is doing something different. It's just doing the right things better. That's all.
But if you just held your HEX,
yeah,
you could just sell it now and cash in and take profit.
But that's 11-cent Bitcoin. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, Bitcoin's at 11. I'm dumping this shit. This thing has gone way too high.
Yeah.
You know? HEX could go, you know, people were talking, you know, HEX can go to $1 this year. And what's that going to do?
You think HEX can go to $1 this year?
Me personally, I'm the guy that's very conservative. There are so many of our people talking about $1. I'm expecting probably, you know, in the 50 to 60 cent range. 56 cents is kind of like my target for what I think the end of the year is going to show. So, you know, but that's just speculation. And that's just me. I didn't think that we can get by launch to a penny. We surpassed that. I thought, you know, 2.5 years, 3.5 cents. That's what I thought at first. So now I'm thinking maybe 56 cents, but everybody else is talking $1. So I've been wrong 3 times already. So if I'm wrong again,
underestimated 3 times.
I've underestimated 3 times. So HEX has done nothing but blow out my expectations out of the water. So I'm sure that it's probably going to do even more because now it's not just organic, you know, community growth and FUD growth. It's going to start to become more mainstream. It's going to start to become, you know, virality is going to kick in. Once virality kicks in, the price can go astronomical levels.
Finbear said staking is like changing your HEX to HEX miner T-shares. The longer you can hold on to your miner, the better you will be. That's why T-shares go up like a rocket.
Yes. And then there's going to be another chance for people to get involved in HEX when Pulsechain launches, you know, because there will be HEX on Pulsechain. So you'll have ePulse or eHEX and pHEX, which will be PulseHEX. So there's going to be an opportunity there for people to get in and not have to deal with the fees and to stake and unstake and all that. So that's going to probably become very, very popular. The pHEX. Richard is
a question.
Uh-huh.
I think this is a question. Any current demarcation points of T-share counts you can speak to separate whales, sharks, dolphins, and squids would be interesting to know.
Let me read that again. Any current demarcation points of T-share counts you can speak to separate whales, sharks, dolphins, and squids would be interesting. Yeah, it's based on percentages. Like if you have 0.01%, you're a shark. If you have 0.1%, you're a whale, and then they go down from there. 0.001.
Demarcation.
That's the demarcation. Is at 1% you're a whale. At 0.01% you're a shark. 0.001% you're a dolphin. It moves like that.
Cut you off with that question. Do you remember what you were saying?
I know.
Okay.
I'm fucking old, man. I can't keep a thought in my head for that long.
Daniel said $1 is for 2022.
Yeah, sure. $1. Like I said, I've been wrong a few times before, and a lot of these guys know more than I do about all that stuff. Vince, that's my homeboy. He lives out here in California with me, so that's my buddy.
Cool stream. Hats off to the captain.
Yeah. They have a stream called HEXICANS that Vince is on. Him and Middle Class Working Man. They have a HEXICANS stream. They're on Discourse Syndicate Network. And man, those guys they're funny as shit, man. Those guys, they yuck it up, man. They pull stuff off the internet and they crypto stuff and they meme and do all kinds of stuff. They got a great show, the HEXICANS. But so like I said, my predictions have never come to fruition. It's all Hex has blown them out of the water. So I've always liked staying conservative. Because $29 in the year. Oh, Jesus.
Finbear, $29.
Freaking Moonboy Finbear, huh? 31.
Discourse Syndicate said $31 at Finbear.
That's my partner. That's Kinetics right there. We call him Knipples. But $31 by the end of the year.
Man, you spent 2 hours with me. I respect that.
Oh, dude, we're we come from the school of Richard Hart. Richard Hart does 8-hour live streams. We stream 3, 4, 5 hours every time, man. So it's nothing to us. We've actually, I don't know if you know this, but we did. The Hexologist is the first real YouTube streamer in Hex, and he taught me how to create a stream. So he actually was the co-creator of Discourse Syndicate. He had his own stream called The Hexologist, the Hex Doctor. And he did a 24-hour live stream with me. He and I did the first 24-hour live stream, straight up 24 hours, nonstop. And then we did it again on Big Payday. So we streamed 24 hours twice, he and I and the community. So, we've actually done 24-hour live streams.
I wake up in the middle of the night and I just start streaming around 3 o'clock in the morning, just rambling about anything and everything. That's what I do.
That's cool. Cool. Yeah. It's been fun getting involved in the streaming community. I never thought of what a tool this really was until, the whole, COVID thing happened and everybody was staying home and then Hex launched. It was kind of like a perfect storm. It was a platform that I knew we could use to get the word out. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been interesting. It's growing, it's morphing. We're becoming more professional. I'm hiring people to actually bring them into our stream to up the production value. We're going to start funneling and doing shorts and doing a lot of different things for the community, for our streaming community. We're hiring assistants to help with thumbnails and do all that kind of stuff. So we're really up in our game.
The expansion of utility and tools and DEX functions for Hex, DEX Hex.
HEXDEX.
Hex Phoenix just said, I unlocked what was $20 a year ago, now worth $950 with interest. Cha-ching, power of Hex. So, you got a lot of good testimonials from just people hopping on the chat.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of HEXICANS out there that have we've had people pay off their student loans. We've had people, send their kids to get surgeries and things that they've needed. We've had people pay off their homes.
Buy homes.
buy homes. Yeah, we've got like a lot of people bought like toys, trailers. We've got a guy that bought a $850,000 Aventador Lamborghini. We've got watches, and everybody's people are spending the money. I mean,
Yeah.
they're taking gains. They're
Yeah.
proving it. And we're pouring money into our production value here, and making Discourse Syndicate something stronger to get the word out. Cha-ching, motherfucker. Yep.
That's cryptology language.
Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. Yeah, I didn't know how deep you got. We our language is very, very colorful over on the Discourse Syndicate there.
My favorite comedians is Tim Dillon and Flagrant 2. I'm into
Doug Stanhope.
Doug Stanhope is one of my favorite comedians. Louis C.K.
Yeah. There you go.
Bill Burr.
Yep. Those are guys I like.
So this is, I believe in free speech, and I think if YouTube keeps going the way it's going, then there's going to be Theta. That's why I'm buying Theta.
Yeah, we're on Theta too. We're on Theta. We're on a whole bunch of different platforms now.
I use this whole thing we're in here is called Restream.
That's what we use. But I don't
a month, and we get to stream everywhere.
Yeah, I haven't done the. We're going to use the studio now. I'm going to upgrade it one more time and get the studio version. You like it pretty good?
I love it. Is there more features? Is there another?
Yeah, there's more features. It's
a
little bit
$50 a month.
Yeah, they wanted. Well, it might have been what it was. They want a year. They want a few $100s or whatever. But
I don't know.
I guess I do pay for it, but I think I pay for the smallest version because all I do is push. I use it to push my StreamYard. But I think we're going to move from StreamYard to Restream just because everybody can go here because of our network situation. Everybody can go here, update all the titles, and then push their stream from here all in one place versus having to go to two different places.
Yeah,
and this is actually better in StreamYard. I like the quality as far as their servers are better. And also they give you 150 megabytes of space for your video content and all that kind of stuff. So there's the servers are better.
Yeah. And I take advantage. They have a big list of places you can stream to. So I pretty much just made an account on all of them.
Yep. That's the way to do it. Right.
Yep.
Push it out there. That's
I don't know what's going to happen with Periscope, but they say they're getting rid of Periscope.
I think it's gone. Really. I mean, it's not really usable.
It's still in Restream. We're streaming on Twitter right now.
Really?
Through Periscope, yeah. There's a lot of people watching on Twitter right now.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
and YouTube and Africa TV, also all sorts of things all around the world. I'm streaming too.
I think we should probably push it there too. Push it to Periscope.
And then we take the audio and we put it on Google Podcast and Apple Podcasts. So.
You do that. You push it afterwards.
Yeah, the audio.
Okay. Yeah, we should think about doing that too. A lot of people like listening to our audio content later on.
Finbear wants us to talk about fuck you money.
well, that's. I mean,
I could talk about fuck you money all day. I don't know about you.
Well,
I'd get a better tapestry first of all with fuck you money, and I would get. I mean, I'd get out of this place and I'd buy land somewhere.
Yeah, well, I'm moving at the end of the year. I'm moving to Puerto Rico.
Lucky
me and my
you.
family. I'm going.
Tax purposes.
Yeah, tax purposes. And you know what? Look, man, I'm retiring. So putting my toes in the sand. I'm a surfer. I like spearfishing. So there ain't no better place in the world to scuba dive and spearfish and surf.
Puerto Rico's beautiful.
And retire. And that's what I'm ready for, and so that's where I'm going to go because it's a place where I'd love to retire. And, but fuck you money. A couple more pennies and, I'll probably, commission a pirate ship. I'll have a pirate ship made and, I'll invite people down to Puerto Rico to my pirate ship and I'll have a ship there. that's about the only fuck you thing I'm going to do. But the rest of it's going to go to my family. We're going to travel the world and put my toes in the sand until my wife tells me we're going to France or we're going to Greece or we're going to wherever, and then I'm going to get a pirate ship. I got to have a pirate ship.
You're going to get a pirate ship.
I'm going to commission and make a pirate ship. That's my fuck you money.
Awesome. I like it.
Yep.
Well, thanks for talking.
All right. Jesse. Okay, so you changed your name. So your name's Jesse.
Yeah, my name's Jesse. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Thanks for talking, Captain.
Appreciate you having me on, man, on the fly like that. And get the word out, man. Hex is on the move. And anything you need from us, man, you let us know. Anytime you want us to come on, maybe we'll get you on our show. You can give us an update, let you study Hex for a little bit, get you some. Throw a MetaMask wallet at us. We'll send you a few, and we'll get you to go stake some and tell us what you think. Give us an update. Come on our show and do an update.
Great. I'll see you in the Telegram.
All right, my man. Have a good one.
All
Thanks again. Later.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like the content, subscribe.